everybody, Laura here with the South Carolina State Museum. If you're watching this video, it means you are celebrating Oztober and have one of our really fun Oztober kits. This activity in particular is going to be our pumpkin pals. So let me show you what's in the bag and how to make it. So the museum is going to provide you with the following materials: an orange plate, a small black piece of construction paper, a larger orange piece of construction paper, a medium piece of green construction paper, and a small piece of orange construction paper. We're also going to give you two little googly eyes. The couple things that you need to provide for yourself include a pair of scissors and some glue or tape or something like that, just to get everything to stick together, okay? I'm going to leave this little wacky pumpkin pal right over here to help us out. All right, so the first thing I like to do, and this one is probably the simplest out of all of the different paper plate friends that we've got. First thing I do with this one is I just go ahead and I start making my legs. So I'm going to put my googly eyes off to the side, and if you see here, these googly eyes match and they're small. I like it when things are kind of weird, so this one has a really big eye and a really small eye. So remember, nothing is perfect and you can make it any way you want to, okay? So let's start with our ziggy-zag legs. You are going to take your large piece of paper and you are going to cut it all the way down. Now this is roughly 1 inch wide, maybe a little bit more, but you're going to cut it all the way down. Now once you get your zigzag going and you make these little ziggy-zag legs, you could actually trim them down if you want to. I think it looks really funny with really long legs, like it's like boing, boing, boing. So I like the long legs, but you can trim it down and make the legs a little shorter if you want. Now this is some extra scrap paper, so if you decide you want to make some arms later on, you can do that too, so that is extra. So if you haven't watched one of these yet, I'm going to show you how to do the zigzag fold. So you're going to take your piece of paper and you're going to pick it up and you're going to fold it a little bit in one direction. And I would say that this is roughly 1 inch as well. Now for smaller hands, sometimes the easiest thing to do is to flip it over and fold it again so that it's the same size, roughly. It doesn't have to be exact. Mine is a little bit longer. Flip it over and do it again. And you're going to keep doing that back and forth over and over until you get zigzags all the way down. And what do I mean by zigzags? Well, if I hold this up and I undo it, you can see I've got some zigzags going. So I'm going to do it from this angle as well so you can get a better view. I'm going to fold it and press. Then I'm going to fold it the opposite direction and press. Just like that. We're going to go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth until we get a zigzag all the way down the leg. Ta-da! Boop, 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 boop. Perfect. All right, so let's do the same thing with the other one. We're going to go back and forth, and I'm going to do this a little bit quicker this time. So back and forth, back and forth. Do, 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 do. And we're going to have two ziggy-zaggy legs. Now remember, I like it when things are a little wonky, so I am totally fine with my legs being a little bit different. Ta-da! All right, so the next thing I'm going to do now that I have my legs is I'm going to start putting things together. That way I have a better idea of what's where and where I want things to land. So I like to glue the inside fold of one of the legs. So I would consider this right here the inside. And if I flip it over, this would be the outside to me. So I glue the inside. I think it just kind of holds on to the plate a little bit better. So I'm going to put some glue there. And I'm going to put my legs down. Now, I personally liked it when my legs were really close and I had really long, funny legs for my pumpkin, but you don't have to do that. You can do it any way you want. I'm going to do the other one really quick. Uh-oh, I might need to add more glue. Let me press a little bit harder. There we go. Now it's standing. Okay. And I also didn't let it dry. So now I've got my legs on my pumpkin, so I know where the top of my pumpkin is. Let's see, now maybe I should do, what do you think I should do next? Maybe the eyes? So now let's put the eyes on. I'm going to put a little bit of glue on this eye. Ta-da! There's one. And a little glue on this eye. There's two. And these eyes, let's make them, if this is my pumpkin, I want mine to be kind of wonky. Like that. Woo! now let's do the mouth. And this one I did a zigzag mouth, and I'm going to show you how I did that. Now, if you need to grab a pencil or a marker or something and draw the zigzag out, that is okay. I'm a big fan of freehanding, and I bet you can guess why. When you freehand something, it looks a little weirder than it normally would, and I just think that's fun. So the way I did this was I started with a down slope, so you can see it right there. I have a little down cut. And then I just kind of go back and forth with the zigzag. I'm going to go up and down and up and down and up and down. And I'm going to do that as much as I want. I'm actually going to go all the way down the paper, and then I can trim it once I get it on here. I can decide how big I want it. Now, if you want, you can do the same thing, just a little bit wider. So instead of cutting the exact same angle, I'm going to go down a little bit more. I'll show that to you one more time. Instead of the exact same angle, I'm going to go down further and make my cut there. And that is how I'm going to get almost an outline of the previous angles that I cut. So you're going to go back and forth. But if you're not quite comfortable doing that, if you are still new to the world of scissors and cutting things, then you make sure you grab yourself a pencil or a marker or something, and you can draw it out as much as you want. That is absolutely fine. Now, I happen to not like how wide that mouth is. I'm going to trim just a little bit off. I'm going to pick this one. I'm going to trim a little bit off of that one. What do we think? We like that? I like that one. I think that's fun. So this pumpkin looks a little bit worried. This one looks like he's maybe hungry or something. But this pumpkin, she's a little worried. So now I'm going to glue my pumpkin mouth down. A little bit of glue in the middle, little on the end. Remember, just a dot, not a lot. You don't need a ton of glue. It goes a long way. All right. Press it down just a tiny bit. There we go. Now, I am going to do the top part of my pumpkin, my stem and my leaf. So I'm going to cut basically a rectangle. And if you want yours to be a little bit more stemmy looking, instead of, let me put the green paper in front, instead of it being really simple like that, you can actually shave off a little bit at the bottom and create a little bit more of an angle, and it'll look a little bit more like a stem, just like that. All right, so now I'm going to put a little bit of glue at the bottom of this and stick it on the underside of my pumpkin, just like that. And now I'm going to make my leaf, and if you see here, I made a really small leaf. I'm going to make a really big leaf this time. And that's just going to be one big curve on that side, and I'm going to do the exact same curve on the other side. Whoop, just swoop it around and make a point. And this pumpkin is going to have a very, very, very large leaf. Maybe that's why she's so worried, because it's kind of heavy for her to hold. And there you go. I have my little pumpkin pal. Now, if you want to use your scraps and you want to add polka dots, or maybe you want to add arms, you could do some zigzaggy arms too. If you wanted to, I don't know, add another mouth or another eye or something, you are welcome to do that. We would love to see your creations. Make sure you share them with us on social media. We love to see what you all are doing. We miss you very much here at the museum, so that's a great way to stay in touch. And if you have any questions, just let us know. So make sure you have a super safe holiday. Happy, happy Oztober, and thank you so much, most importantly, for being a member. Thanks, y'all. Bye.